So Duo, welcome to the next language lesson for the advanced learner in Somali. Today we're going to follow up on what we talked about last time about the different verb classes, and today we will use verb class 1 to build a present tense sentence. So again, we had used this book last time, and in the back it's really wonderful. If you have this book, it has tables and charts of how to conjugate. Here's a simple present one. And it has the breakdown for who's speaking in the sentence: I, he, you, she, they plural, we. So it has all those breakdowns using the verbs through the conjugates 1 through 5. So if you have this book, go ahead and pull it out. It'll help you in our discussion today. So one thing we do have to use when building a sentence with a verb, we have to use a mood classifier before the verb. So a verb mood classifier simply shows who's doing the verb. A really common one for verbs is wa, W-A-A. There's some other mood classifiers out there, ba and aha, and those typically are not always used with verbs, although sometimes they are. So it's not always consistent, but wa is typically always used before a verb to show who's doing it. So here's an example of wa conjugated for who's speaking in the sentence. So for I, it's wan. For you, it's wad. For he, it's woo. For she, way. For we, exclusive and inclusive, wanu or wainu. And for they, are you plural, it's waydin. And for they, it's way. So those are some examples of the mood classifiers conjugated for who's doing the verb. So today we'll build a simple sentence, and we'll have to know the endings that we have to add to the verb for who's doing the speaking as well. So you add the mood classifier before, and you also have to add an ending to the verb to show who's doing the verb. So I'll show you that chart. For I, it's AA ending, as well as for he, it's also AA. For you and she, it's TAA. For we, it's NAA. And for they, it's AAN. So those are the endings that we're going to add to the verb, as well as the mood classifier before. So let's use the verb dis. So it's a verb class 1 because it ends in a consonant. And it will stay that way as we conjugate around it in the sentence. It will say stay dis, so D-H-I-S, and that means to build. So let's say I build the house. One for I, that's the verb mood classifier, and then we're going to add AA to the end of the verb. So one disa guriga. That means I build the house. Congrats, we've made our first sentence in Somali. And you can do that. Use that on your own to build your own sentences. If you have the book, you can look up what verbs are in the class 1 and then use that chart in the back to help you conjugate for a present tense sentence. Another one, if we want to say we, exclusive, so we're the only ones doing this, we're going to bring the books. So ken, K-E-E-N, verb class 1 as well, ends in a consonant. So wanu, kena, bugag. We bring the books. Another example, the last example, is he brings food. So we're going to also use ken again, kind of show some consistency. So woo for he, that's the verb classifier, and then add the double A at the end of ken for he. So he's doing the verb. Woo kena unto. He brings the food. So hopefully that was helpful today. We'll practice building some more sentences next time with conjugate 2A. And if you come up with any sentences, go ahead and put them in the comments so that everybody